You probably woke up today feeling, well, like you were running late. Not late for work or late for a train. You woke up feeling late for your own life.
Yeah, that is a very heavy feeling. You look at your age and you look at where you are, and a quiet voice says, you should be much further along by now.
Exactly, you want to make a change. But that heavy feeling tells you that time has already run out. So today in our deep dive, we are looking at our sources to understand this fear.
Right, we are talking about starting over. Our mission today is to understand why we get so scared to change our path.
And most importantly, we will focus on why it is perfectly okay to be a beginner again. We're going to use very simple words today, so please, just relax.
Yes, absolutely. Do not worry if you do not understand every single word. The most important thing is, just catching the big ideas.
I love that. So before we can learn how to start over, we first need to understand the problem. Why do we feel like it is too late to begin?
Well, our sources talk about an idea called the invisible timeline. It is like an imaginary schedule that controls our lives.
But I want to ask, who actually built this timeline? I mean, where did it come from?
That is a great question. Long ago, human beings did not have this problem. People lived by the sun. They worked when it was light outside and they slept when it was dark.
Right, life was about the seasons, not strict clocks.
Exactly. But then society changed. We built big factories, and factories needed strict clocks to operate.
Oh, I see. So we started living like machines.
Yes, we did. We took the factory clock and we applied it to human life. Society created a rule book. It says, you must finish school at a certain age.
You must find a perfect partner by a certain age.
Right. And you must have a lot of money and a high position at your job by a certain age.
It feels like we are running a big race where nobody ever told us the rules, but everyone else seems to be winning.
That is a perfect way to describe it. We want to feel safe. But comparing ourselves to this invisible timeline only creates fear.
And if you do not follow the rules, you feel like you are failing. Our sources point out that this is so much worse today than it was 50 years ago.
It is much worse today. 50 years ago, you only compared yourself to the people on your street. Maybe your neighbor bought a new car and you felt a little bit jealous.
Yeah, but that was the end of it.
Exactly. Today, because of social media, things are different. Your brain is comparing your normal, messy life to the perfect pictures of millions of people online.
Let's talk about how that actually works in the brain. Because it is not just a sad feeling, right?
Yeah.
It is a real biological reaction.
It really is. When you open your phone and see a friend with a perfect house and perfect vacations, your brain gets confused. Your brain has an old alarm system to look for danger.
Danger? Wait, why is my friend's vacation dangerous?
Well, in the ancient world, if you were the weakest person in the group might leave you behind. And being left behind meant danger.
Oh, wow. So when I see a picture of my friend's success online, my brain says I am behind the group. My brain says I am in danger.
Exactly. Your brain triggers an alarm, and when this alarm goes off, it creates a feeling that our sources call paralyzing.
Paralyzing. That means the fear makes us freeze completely.
Yes. You feel ashamed, so you do nothing. You get so scared of making the wrong move that you just stand completely still.
And standing still becomes a habit, doesn't it?
It does. Standing still feels safe today, but soon your brain learns that standing still is the only way to stay safe.
But, knowing this timeline is fake does not magically fix the problem. Even if I know the rules are fake, I still feel stuck.
Yeah, that is very common.
Because we feel so stuck, we often think changing our life requires a huge dramatic jump. But the sources tell us this is a myth.
We expect real life to look like a movie.
Yes, the movie montage. We have all seen this. The main character hates their office job. Dramatic music starts playing.
Right, and they yell at their boss.
Exactly. They throw their computer in the trash and walk out. And then in the very next scene, they are running a successful coffee shop on the beach.
But movies only have 2 hours to tell a whole story. They have to move fast. Human life is not a movie.
No, it is not. Real change does not look like throwing a computer.
Real change is much slower, and it is much messier. The sources introduce a very helpful word here. They call it a pivot.
A pivot. What does that look like?
A pivot means changing your direction but keeping your balance. Imagine you are standing on the floor. You keep one foot completely flat on the ground.
Okay, my foot is on the ground.
You do not lift it, but you turn your body to face a completely new direction. You do not jump into the air.
So you do not fall down and you do not go back to zero.
Exactly. You stay connected to the ground, but you face a new way. Your past years are never wasted. They are your strong foundation.
Well, wait, I want to push back on this a little bit. Let's say I spent 10 years working in a bank,
Okay.
and now I decide I want to be a teacher for young children. My banking skills do not help me teach a child how to read. Didn't I just waste 10 whole years?
That is the most common fear people have. But no, you did not waste 10 years. You are looking at the wrong
What
skills.
do you mean?
You are looking at the technical skills. Yes, knowing banking software does not help you teach a child. But think about what else you learned in 10 years.
Like what?
You learned how to stay calm when a customer is angry. You learned how to organize a very busy week. You learned resilience. That means trying again after a really bad day.
Oh, I see. I am bringing those human skills with me.
Yes. You are not the same person you were 10 years ago. You bring all your new skills and knowledge with you when you turn to face a new direction.
That makes a lot of sense. Even the mistakes teach you the best lessons. But this brings us to the biggest focus of our deep dive today.
Right? The problem of being a beginner.
Yes. If our past experience helps us pivot, why is taking that new path still so terrifying?
Because turning onto a new road means we have to face a very uncomfortable feeling. We have to be a beginner again.
And we really need to explain this core message. It is so important to give yourself permission to be a beginner.
It is the most important step. To understand why this is so hard, let's contrast adults with children. Children are professional beginners.
They really are. When a young child tries to draw a picture of a dog, it usually looks terrible. It looks like a potato with legs.
Right, but what do the adults do? They clap their hands, they put the picture on the wall.
Nobody tells the child they're a terrible artist.
Exactly. Everyone expects the child to be bad at drawing. There is absolutely no shame.
But adults feel so vulnerable. We feel exposed. We think we should already be good at everything.
We build this heavy armor around ourselves as we get older. We tie our identity to our jobs. If you're a bank manager, you have answers. People respect you.
But the moment you step into a new classroom to learn how to be a teacher, you have no answers.
You drop the armor, and you feel completely exposed. For an adult, making a mistake feels like a public failure.
Our sources discuss the double standard we have about this, and it is so sad. We treat our friends so much better than we treat ourselves.
We really do.
Think about it. What would you tell your best friend if they wanted to try something new, like learning the guitar, and they were scared to look silly?
You would be so kind to them. You would say, go for it. Everyone starts somewhere. It is okay if you sound bad at first.
But when we look in the mirror, we demand instant perfection from ourselves.
Right.
We say, if I cannot play a perfect song today, I am a failure.
Why are we so mean to ourselves?
Because holding ourselves to the standard of instant competence quietly keeps us trapped. It is a trick our brain plays to save energy.
A trick.
Yes, learning new things takes a lot of mental energy.
Yeah.
Your brain wants to stay comfortable, so it sets a rule that is impossible to follow.
It demands perfection on day one.
Right. And because you know you cannot be perfect on day one, you decide not to try. You stay safe. Your brain wins.
Wow. So the demand for perfection is just fear trying to stop us from changing.
Exactly. And there is a real danger to staying safe like this. If you never let yourself be a beginner, you stay in a small, safe circle.
And what happens to that circle over time?
Over time, that circle gets smaller. You stop trying new foods. You stop meeting new people. You stop growing. Eventually, we're living a very small life. You must notice you are living small before you can start changing. You have to give yourself permission to be messy.
Yes. Making mistakes is the only way to break out of that small circle.
So once we give ourselves permission to be a messy beginner, what does the actual first move look like? It doesn't look loud or dramatic, does it?
No, it looks quiet. We need to redefine the word courage.
When I think of courage, I think of loud things, like jumping off a cliff into the ocean.
Loud courage gets all the attention in movies, but real courage is quiet. It looks like filling out one single job application.
Or going to one dance class, even when you feel really awkward.
Exactly. And because it is quiet, it requires a word our sources use called persistence.
Persistence. That means continuing to try, even when the results are slow and boring.
Yes. Talent does not matter as much as simply trying again. Talent makes the first day easy. But persistence is what gets you through day 20 when it is raining and you are tired.
The people who change their lives are just the beginners who refuse to stop trying.
Right. And our sources share some final, powerful advice about how to do this. You have to stop asking, is it too late?
Because fear will always answer yes to that question. Fear says, yes, you are late. Look at the invisible timeline.
So you must ask a new question instead. Ask yourself, what is one small step I can take this week?
Just one small step. You do not wait for perfect conditions.
Perfect conditions are a myth. You will never have all the money, all the extra time, and zero fear. You have to start exactly where you are today.
Slow progress is still progress. It is like driving a car at night.
Oh, that is a great way to look at it.
Yeah, you do not need to see the whole city. Your headlights just need to show you the next few meters of the road.
Exactly. You only need enough light for the next step. Moving slowly is always much more powerful than standing completely still.
And you do not have to do it alone. Surrounding yourself with supportive people makes that slow movement feel possible.
Even if it is just a voice on the internet or a book, seeing someone else talk about being messy helps your brain relax.
It really does. Wow, this has been such a great conversation today. Let's quickly review the main lessons for you, our listener.
Good idea.
First, forget the invisible timeline. It is fake. You are not late. Second, you are not erasing your past. You are pivoting. You bring your strong foundation with you.
Third, give yourself full permission to be a bad beginner. Treat yourself with the same kindness you give to your best friend.
And finally, just take one small step. Use your quiet courage.
And remember, there is no pressure to make a huge life change today. Just having the language and words to think about your life more clearly is a big victory.
It is a huge victory. So as we finish up, I want to leave you with one final question to think about after this deep dive ends.
Listen closely to this one.
If you knew for a 100% fact that nobody would laugh at you,
Yeah.
what is the very first beginner step you would take tomorrow morning?
That is a wonderful question to explore on your own.
Think about it. Thank you so much for joining us today and for being open to learning.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Have a great day, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.